Hello and welcome to this review for the retro series G1 reissue of Hound in cartoon colors. Now this set is Walmart exclusive and I picked it up in Canada. I usually don't deal much with the box because it's a closed box and I will end up throwing in the recycling usually. But in this one I might keep it because the artwork is just really cool. It's just really nice artwork. You see him all like battle torn and all that, and it's for the Transformers movie specifically. And here he is in next to the Autobot shuttle because that's one of the most iconic parts of the movie where Optimus, the touch comes on, Optimus just lays waste to the Decepticons. But right before that, next to him is Hound and Sunstreaker. So that's where, even though Hound's not in the movie much, he is still part of that iconic scene. So I'll put that box aside and we'll look at him in alt mode. And what's really fun about having Hound here is that this is the first reissue of G1 Hound in North America ever. So I won't have anything to compare it with. I don't have the original G1 Hound. And it's just fun to have, finally. People were wondering, because the plastic, and even here through like a camera, you don't see much difference in the green color. So, people wondering that, it was all plastic, but it's not. The back is actually still metal. So what was metal before should be metal now again. So for example, the back half here, at least the top part, all this is all die cast. And they do a really good job of finding the paint to match the plastic, the molded, the color they used for the plastic here. So that's really well done. He looks phenomenal. That's one thing that this retro series has aced, is the colors. It looks like the cartoon, but that you're holding it in your hand as the G1 toy. So that's very well done. So props to that. There are a few issues and I'll get to them, but first I'll just show you the accessories that he has for the alt mode in case you never had this toy before. So in alt mode, there's 3 things to add to it to have the full effect. There's a wheel. Well, the instructions so that there's a star in back of the wheel, or not the back, but like here. It's not. It's just what you see is what you get. It's like this. There's no star emblem on it. He also has like this gas can here that you can fix to it, like so. And there's like I don't know if you call it a turret, but you could put it here, or like it's more like a mounted gun, right? And that would be how Hound is complete in his alt mode, which does roll. It rolls freely. There's no issue with it. So that's good. However, the tires, at least from what I'm feeling, are not rubber. I'm unaware if they were rubber originally. I'm assuming they were. They feel like, they feel like a kind of soft plastic to me. Though of course I may be wrong, but that's just how it feels. Okay. Now I'm going to take them out. To transform it, you do have to take out these accessories. These are just to complement the alt mode. I will remove them. Now if you haven't transformed G1 Hound, I'll show you how. It's not too difficult. None of these G1 toys are. What's fun though is that you see a lot of steps that you wouldn't have guessed were on G1 toys. So for example, this toy has not 1 but 2 automorphing gimmicks. We'll get to them at the point in due time. For now, we're going to start with the first step, which is to pull him like this. The G1 era had a lot of telescoping mechanisms. You see it a lot for, where arms come out of hands or stuff of the sort. In this case, it happens here for the torso. Now, for the next step, we're going to, bring down the feet. These are the feet. So we do it like that. Before I get to the next step, which is about putting putting the chairs away, I do want to highlight something that happened on my copy. So if you'll see it, see one part is white while the other one is black. That's because the plastic has been stressed. So there's even like a fracture line here. So this is actually broken. So my copy sadly is broken after having just transformed it a few times. I don't know if that's the same for everything, but just something to watch out for. Now we're gonna flip these seats upwards, and that does hide them away very nicely. So his feet are fully transformed. For this part, that's the automorphing. See the head keeps, falling due to gravity, and that's okay. That's the way it's supposed to be. But, when it's normal, you don't see the head. However, when you do, there you go, put it like this, the head comes out. Now, that's just one of the two. Oh, and the next step is to bring down the windshield. That's one of the two automorphing gimmicks. The other one, I'm going to bring these pieces down first before I show it to you, is the hands. The hands will actually slide outwards when you push when you flip these wheels back. So you'll see it. If that wasn't clear, I'll try to do it clear in this one. So you put it back and the hand's gonna pop out sideways. Here. And that's achieved because of this little, it's an analog mechanism, but it works really, really well where one side's elevated while the other isn't. And now you could bring the arms down. And that's G1 Hound, this cute little guy. I'll put, here he is. Now, aside from the issue I showed you with the breakage, there is a bit of an issue with the paint as well, and you could see it in the head. There is the blue used for the eyes is also on the side of the helmet here, and it's very obvious. It's a bit distracting. I don't know if you're okay with it. I personally am not, and that's one of the. But I mean, I was gonna say it's the closed box doesn't help, but to be fair, if it was in a closed box, it would be in alt mode, and you wouldn't see it like that anyways. So that's not too fun. Now the accessories to add to him, there's two for this mode. One is this gun. Which, no, he can't lift all the way up because, yeah, it's obstructed, right? And the other accessory, I'll get it because I have to talk about it separately, is this here, which is a shoulder cannon. Now, while it does have the semblance of a firing mechanism, it's been neutered. There's no spring inside. This is just whatever's left of it, once that's been taken out. And the missiles come in 3, but I mean, you're not going to lose any because they don't fire. So I'm going to take one, put inside, and that's going to complete the look. And now it goes there. And here's your G1 Hound. Now the size, if you're wondering, if someone hasn't had a G1 Hound before, he isn't deluxe sized. So this is, a deluxe of today. That's Jazz from the SS86 line. Hound is more of a old school Scout size, which is not too far from, actually he's even a bit smaller than that. So he's more of like a core class of today. That's in terms of height.